All right. Maybe now we're
Maybe the chat's working now.
there we go. That looks like it would be working.
Let's see.
Okay. It says unable to connect. Oh shoot, that's a different person. It says host will be right back. Does it still say host will be right back?
No, I think we're here. It's just
You guys can type one in the chat if you're
yeah, they're
here.
putting a thumbs up.
Oh,
You can see,
cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Can somebody put a thumbs up if you can see the chat that I just typed in here? Or let's do a different react probably. Okay, thumbs up is working. Okay, they can see the chat. You guys just can't type in it, I'm guessing.
Odd.
Here we go. Let's do attendees can. Here we go. I think it was working now.
Okay, it says it won't let me type in the chat. All right, let's try this.
Let's try this. There we go.
Clarice.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Awesome. So,
Okay.
it's a little technical
That's all
difficulty. No
right.
worries.
Guys, we are so
Awesome.
excited you're here. Uh, drop a one in the chat. Let's try this again. Drop a one in the chat if you're excited for the new year, a two if you're dreading it. You're just like, not ready for it. Lots of
Awesome. Awesome.
ones.
Lots of ones.
Love it. Good stuff. Good
Amazing.
stuff.
Amazing.
Okay. And we're hoping for almost 100 people to join us today. So this is going to be so awesome. Zach and I, of course, had a few technical difficulties. We are in a hotel room.
Saw it coming.
Almost everything that could have gone wrong did, but that's okay. That's all right. We are very resourceful and we adapt. And no, we're so excited to be here. It's just sorry we're in a hotel room.
Wi-Fi went out an hour before.
Yep. Yep. So that's good. Anyways, all right. For our new people or anybody who just joined, I'd like to know, be honest, uh, who is sick of living the same year over and over? Type one in the chat if you're like, yep, I need a change, or two if you're like, no, I'm just really here to kind of re-up and just maybe support my friends. One if you're really ready to transform and live a different life, or two, how I know is I make promises to myself on Monday, say I'm going to be different next weekend, or I'm going to make better choices, and I never do. One if you're sick of making promises to yourself, and
Amazing. Amazing.
yeah,
A lot of
lots of
ones.
ones. That's good. That's good. This is such a
Always ready for growth. Love it, Sarah.
yep, that's right.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, thank you guys for joining. As you know, it's the 30-day identity reset challenge. So what we're going to go over is just a lot of tips and tricks, how the challenge is designed, how to get in. We have prizes at the end of it, all kind of good stuff like that. These are just some things that everybody has information. It's just about the accountability and how to apply it. But these are just simple things that we do on a daily basis and it's just day in and day out that really, really get us crank into the life that just we enjoy living, right? Where it just becomes a habit to just do these things day in and day out. And they just build you into the person that you're wanting to be, right? And it's all about discipline and just creating that identity. And the more you do it, more consistent you are, more over time it is, clearly the better it sticks. It just becomes just the way of life. You just wake up and it's just like, hey, this is what I do now. So, ready to kick things off?
Let's do it.
Cool. Cool. So over the next 30 days, if you guys take action, you are going to walk away with four different promises that we have laid out. So I don't know if anybody watches some of the stuff that I do or talk about a lot, but momentum is a big thing for me. We've figured out, that motivation is something that comes and goes, right? You wake up, some mornings you wake up, you're motivated, a couple of days goes by, the next you're just not, you're just over it. You're like, hey, this is just, I'm not really feeling it today, when those are like really important times that you're actually supposed to, be doing what you said you were going to do. Discipline is really cool and all. It's definitely really important. But the biggest change that happened in our lives is when we found out about momentum. And so, promise number one is you would create real momentum. So, like we said, not motivation, it's momentum that you can really feel. So, you finally stop starting over and stacking wins consistently. So, when I say momentum, what I'm meaning is the more you do this, so the reason we have this laid out as 30 days is if you can commit to these 30 days and you're stacking the win that multiplies to the next day and the next day and the next day, you're not having to rely on the motivation. You're not having to rely on waking up and like hoping that, oh, hopefully, I feel good the next day and I'll want to do this. Because the thing is, the reality is if you think that, us or anybody else wakes up and wants to do, certain things that we made the promises to keep to ourselves, or the hard things in life, it's like, that's just not reality. Like, we don't wake up every single day like thrilled that, like obviously I want to touch my phone or something. I have those tendencies like the second I wake up. But it's like, instead, I just really, really need to crack down and be like, hey, this is the most important time for me to wake up, pray. For us, it's like we like to read the Bible in the morning, but just committing to like, self-improvement is a big one. Like, obviously, I want to go scroll on Instagram. Obviously, it's nice. I can see funny reels and all that good stuff. But so promise number 2 is going to be clarity and direction. So you'll know exactly what you need to focus on each day. There's no guessing. We've laid it all out for you. You're going to know exactly what you do, like, when you wake up, and just tasks that you need to complete throughout the day, all the way until you go to sleep. We're going to have trackers for it. It's a whole thing that's all laid out for you. There's no drifting, no guessing, no overthinking. It's all there for you. And then promise number 3, discipline that you can trust. So you're going to rebuild. The biggest thing is trusting in yourself, right? How can people expect to rely on you if you can't rely on yourself? That is the biggest thing. And so with this, through these 30 days, what we are going to do is just rebuild that self-trust that you have in yourself, that hey, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm not worried about it because I trust myself. I know that I'm going to do what I said I was going to do tomorrow. And keeping those promises to yourself is really, really what stacks up a lot of just natural, like, you start just raying with energy of confidence, is because you show up when you don't feel like it. Promise number 4, a stronger identity. So you won't just change your habits. Like I just said, you're going to be showing up as more confident, just a way more grounded man or woman, just in your body, your faith, your relationships. Personally, I'll get into a little bit of my story later, but that's one thing that started happening for me that I noticed was a lot of my story has to do with, I started with just committing to the gym, like a simple commitment. Hey, just every day I'm going to show up to the gym no matter what. Then I started putting in the eating and stuff, but I started noticing that over time, naturally, when I committed to those little promises that I just sometimes didn't want to do every day, I started committing better to my jobs, my relationships, my friendships, like everything, my faith, like everything just started becoming a lot more natural, and I showed up more confident. And it's just the discipline and the momentum was just carrying over into other aspects of my life that I didn't even expect to happen. Cool. Anything you want to add to that? Jump to the next slide.
Go to the next slide.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, not everybody will succeed. I don't know if you guys I tried to talk about at the beginning of the webinar of, waking up and saying, okay, today is going to be different. Today I'm going to, Monday is going to be different. But, we're here because we want to help you succeed. Right. And we really are making this so simple. Like, there is no difference between Zach and myself and you guys, literally. We're here just sharing what we've done and, the mistakes that we've made, because we've made lots of them.
A lot of them.
Even today we made some mistakes, but this is really just like, let's tell you what, if you really want to make some serious changes, and this isn't about the next 30 days. I mean, we want this to be transformative, but you need to make a commitment. Like, decide now up front, no, like, stop negotiating with yourself. Like, you are breaking promises to yourself. Like Zach was just saying, when you break promises to yourself, 1, you lose your self-trust and self-confidence, but 2 is, how can other people expect to trust you, right? The most important person to keep promises to is yourself. And then that bleeds into all other areas. So this is where we decide, hey, I'm going to make a commitment, right? And most of us don't struggle with that. Many of us have made the commitments. It's really the follow through on the other 3 areas here that a lot of people fall off. So the second is executing on these non-negotiables. So as Zach mentioned, we're going to talk about, doing these things day in and day out. And unfortunately, consistency looks very boring. We eat the same thing almost every single day. We wake up and we know exactly what we're supposed to read. We know exactly what workout we're doing. We know exactly how many steps we're getting in, what our meals look like for that day. and we like the results, so we do the exact same thing again the next day. And so this is where we just commit to it. I don't really care. I love Layla Hermosi, and she says fuck your feelings. Like, it's not about your feelings anymore. Like, just do what is right. And we make this dummy proof. And so this is where we talk about being boring. Like, you have to just be okay with this not being fun and exciting, but commit to the next 30 days being consistent. Really, the next one is removing distractions. And this is huge. If you can commit to the next 30 days of removing the vices, and maybe to you that's not alcohol, maybe it's processed foods, maybe it's scrolling on Instagram. It might be, what I just said, the word vice, and something popped in the forefront of your mind. So you already know what it is. And if you want to share that, you're welcome to. But most of us, have something that we struggle with that, we say, oh, it doesn't control me. But anything that you try to control typically has control over you, right? So we're going to give whatever that thing is a break over the next 30 days. And you have an accountability group, if you choose to, that we're going to help you. And this is where we cut out all the crap, all the excuses that I'm too busy. It's like bullshit. None of us are too busy, right? If you are not putting yourself first, and you are the most important project that you are ever going to work on, then why would you expect anybody else, your clients, your family, your husband, your wife? Like, this is the time that you're actually going to dedicate 30 days. It's a blip on the radar, and you're going to actually dedicate it to self-improvement. I think that's a very easy ask. Mm-hmm. And then, the next is stay accountable. Don't disappear. That's why we created this group. I mean, what we're going to share with you guys is not, rocket science. Like, anybody can do these things. It is so simple. But the biggest thing is, it's not, that we all have as much information. We can get anything we want off ChatGPT. You can have an entire nutrition plan created on ChatGPT if you wanted, but it's, will you follow it? And if you will follow it, why haven't you already? So this is creating an environment that, creates the opportunity for you to be accountable, to not just disappear like you might normally and just lurk around in the background, but hey, jump in the middle. Like, if you're serious about transformation and doing something about it, prove it.
Cool. Well said. So I'll break it down for you. Here's how the next 30 days are going to work. So step one, like kind of like how we've already been going over, just commit to the daily standard for 30 days. Just tell yourself, no negotiating, no guessing. These are the daily actions that we're going to commit to for the next 30 days, and we're going to create a new identity. The cool thing is I promise you that if you commit to this for 30 days, the feeling that you're going to be left with is that you're not going to want to stop. That day 31, day 32, whether you continue on this or it's like, hey, I want to ramp it up. You're going to want to keep going because of just how good you feel about yourself. That is going to be the biggest thing. So to walk you through like a lot of the things we have to execute for these daily non-negotiables that we follow in our own life, we put together every day, just making sure recovery is a really big piece. 7 hours of sleep is, like, I would say, a really good range. I would say 6 to 8, but like 7 is like what we're going for. I don't like to sleep as much. This one's a hard one for me. So it's like, I'm right there with you guys. I have to commit to this too. 10,000 steps. This is a really, really big one. Just getting outside, just moving, doing this 10,000 steps. I promise you, like, a lot of coming from like the fitness world, especially, there's a lot of body recomposition in the midsection and just weight that you can slip off very easily without even realizing, without having to do these extreme diets, just by getting these steps in. So whether walking the dog, listening to an audiobook, listening to music in the morning, whatever it is, like, this was a big piece for me, especially when I was getting sober, is I would just get up every morning and just go walk for like an hour and a half. Gym and training is something that we'll check off too. This could be cardio, this could be resistance training, this could be anything. I mean, this could be like yoga, this could be whatever you guys do as far as like the gym and training aspect of your life, just getting you to go somewhere. It can be at home, in the gym, or in your garage, whatever is comfortable for you, just as long as we're getting a workout in. And especially too, it doesn't have to be like a long drawn out, 2-hour workout or anything like that. We'll give you like standard plans to follow. Same thing with the nutrition as well. So hitting your nutrition target. So A good way to look at it is like how we have like quotes here is like fuel with intention. So the thing is when you're eating really healthy, we like when we're eating meal prep, we're not going into it like forcing ourselves to eat it because it's like, oh, we really, really enjoy chicken and rice, or it's like whatever. It's like we have to eat it because we know we're fueling our body because a healthy body equals a healthy mind. And just the whole outlook of the whole thing is different. Like we go into it of looking at food as like macros or just like, yeah, we enjoy, we have our cheat meals and we have all these things on the side that we go eat. Like we love food as much as the next person, but just really looking at it as like the majority of the time that you're eating, let's say 80, 90%, you're staying on the clean side. And it's because you're fueling your body so you can perform better in all other aspects of your day. A gallon of water is going to be another one. Hydration is just really, really, really key. Same thing with the nutrition. 20 minutes of reading. So us personally, we do a lot of this, well, two different ways. We have a 365 daily Bible that we can link with you guys to, where it basically breaks down an Old Testament, New Testament, old and old. And it's just a really simple way to knock out the Bible in a year. But it's something good to commit to, like 20 minutes. Everybody can commit to 20 minutes a day. So we do that in the mornings before we touch our phones, but you can also read, like we do audiobooks. We're reading one right now called the Treasure Principle. Right? Um,
And
so-
we wanted
yeah.
to, sorry, babe, we wanted to also list, we have as entrepreneurs ourselves and people who have like a tremendous amount of, I mean, hours and hours of self-development behind us. That was
Mhm.
one thing I absolutely loved about Zach is just how passionate he was about self-development. We have a list of Audible books that we would also make available to you guys that we found are just like basic because so many people, you brought this up, sweetheart, is we say, hey, read 20 minutes. It's like, okay, what do I read?
Mhm.
And so, there's just some books. I always think, the Bible is an amazing place to start.
Yeah,
But,
if that's not your thing, it's like,
right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we have a group of just books like self-development that I think would be super helpful. At least I would have thought was super
Yeah.
helpful at the beginning of my journey.
Cool. So next, daily journaling. This is something I had a hard time with because I never thought in a million years like writing something down would be beneficial for me. I was like, if it's already in my head, I already know what I want. Like, what does it matter? But it's kind of like a commitment, a reminder to yourself that you're writing it down. I started realizing this whenever I was getting sober, or even in the beginning of my fitness journey. When I was posting stories, it wasn't necessarily about like me showing what I was doing. It was like once I posted it, same thing as journaling. It's like, oh, okay, it's out there, it's written down. So now I was like felt that more of like that pressure to like be held accountable. It's like I put it out there. And so that's going to be one of the things that we do for the daily non-negotiables as well. No vices is a big one. Whether you are in recovery, middle of addiction, it's like, hey, I've never had a problem with this kind of stuff. I only like drink every now and then, whatever it is. We still like this is a big thing that for 30 days, just commit to no vices. I promise you, it'll be life changing. That's just a really, really big one that we obviously being in recovery is like very important that we have found is like just completely changed our life around. Because I mean, I've been super deep in it and I've also been like a weekend warrior, which is like, I go to work Monday through Friday, but then I'm, just out getting shit faced on the weekend. Either way, it was just never beneficial. We all know it carries over into Monday and then Tuesday, and it's just a longer cycle than just that one day. And then the last two, we have no phone first 30 minutes after waking and 30 minutes before you sleep. So this has been really, really beneficial. And it's like you can squeeze in right here. I think this is a good place to plug and play these is like the journaling and the reading. So whether that's, hey, I want to read in the morning, journal at night, or journal in the morning, read at night, or flip flop them. So this is just a really, really good way for you to like block out your time. So for instance, like a mentor that we have, we're supposed to read these Audible books or listen to these Audible books or like read these books that he's given us, right? And it makes a world of difference when you really like we physically went in and put a calendar block like on the calendar of like, hey, from 7 to 10, like this is when we're listening to this book. And just scheduling out your day like brick by brick like that. Same thing with the no phone in the morning and at night. It just makes the world of a difference. One of the best things that ever happened to me, I'll get into my story a little bit too, was actually when I was right before I decided to get sober, I couldn't even afford my phone bill. And so whenever my phone is disconnected. So when I'd go on these walks, or even if I'd leave the house, whatever it is, my phone wouldn't work. And I just had found that this was one of the most beneficial things to just disconnect from your phone Because even when it seems like, oh, I'm not really scrolling that much, or I'm not really, it's like you have these habits of just picking it up like every 5 seconds. And it's like, I swear, like I used to even convince myself that my phone was buzzing when it never buzzed, just to pick it up. So, and these actions aren't random. They're designed to just eliminate chaos and build momentum for you guys very, very quickly. And just for you to really, really, really focus on these things so that way we can get a steam rolling into 2026. Step three is going to be just we'll show you in a bit. It's going to be there's a tracker for you. Also, it's just really important to check in. We're really big on the community aspect. It helps you stay accountable. Also, like it's just really awesome to see people hold each other accountable. Like we've seen a lot of times in the community, you have a bunch of go-getters and maybe it starts off as like a little competition, but then it's like when that one person goes silent, you naturally are going to want to check in on them because it's like we want to see each other win. So um, that's one of the biggest drop-offs that I've seen is when people have a question or like go ghost, or it's like, they just stop showing up in the community aspect, whether you're just saying, hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Just finished my journaling. Or, you send a picture of yourself at the gym, whatever it is. Like when you start to feel like a part of that community, it makes a huge difference. And if you go ghost, it's like, we don't know something's going on. And it's like, so there's never a dumb question, like always ask for help. People are always in your corner. And so that's just a really big, important part of it. And so step four, we're going to be gamifying this. So it's not just a participation thing. It's not like, hey, here's the stuff you should do. Just do it. Hopefully it works out. We're all going to be doing this together. And basically how it's going to work is we're going to check everything off and there's going to be prizes. So we're going to have point systems, which we'll get to in a minute. Point systems for you, prizes for number 1, 2, and 3, and like discounts and all kind of stuff that you can win. And then like bonuses for, let's say, going like 7 days at a time, 30 days at a time. So step five, just by the end of the 30 days, you'll have better habits. You'll have proof that you can follow through, lead yourself, and you'll be able to live with discipline again. I know a lot of people, probably the majority, it's like we've lived through this kind of before. To some people, it may be new. And to some people, you could be doing this already right now. But I know there's probably a lot of people that can resonate with the fact that like, damn, I've done this before. And I do remember that it did feel really good. And that was like a good correlation like point in my life. Cause like usually you can find, I tell people this all the time, like, man, I used to, I was like sober or I was in the gym for X amount of time and then something kind of just like fell off. And what you're not noticing is that usually there's a correlation with these things, these promises that you made to yourself, you slowly started breaking them. And then like next thing you know, all of a sudden you've just gone reverse back to like, I don't go to the gym anymore. I don't read, I don't do anything anymore. And it usually has to do with the small things that you think aren't a big deal. Like, oh, I stopped reading for 20 minutes, or, oh, I only did like 5,000 steps instead of 10. But the thing is, it's not the number, it's that you're breaking the promise to yourself. So you're slowly just letting yourself get more and more of like, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You're rationalizing. Yeah, go ahead.
Go back. Yeah. So what I wanted to say, I mean, most of it, again, like we talked about, most of us can do all these things, right? And you might be doing some of them, but you just lack structure, which is something that, I love what we put together because you can go and check it off. And there's like human psychology that talks about, the importance of actually like checking something off. But, oftentimes, before somebody, let's just talk about alcohol, and maybe your goal is to stay sober for the next 30 days or just put alcohol down. So a lot of times the reason that people pick up drinks or drinking again or cocaine or bad habits is lack of structure, right? And so left to your own devices, we have too much free time. We say that we'll do it later. We don't schedule it. We're trying to do it on ourselves. And so that's why like this accountability community structure piece, that's why we designed this the way we did. And it just happens to work. Super simple. You guys are going to see it and be like, this is like idiot proof. But it's like, that's the thing is you have to make it so simple that we actually do it. I'm super passionate about, all of these. They've honestly changed my life. Some of them, I don't love journaling every single day, but I know it's important. And thank goodness we have 5 dogs so that getting 10,000 steps in isn't really that hard. But the one that I do want to, I think is so important is that, win your morning, you win your day. How your morning goes is how your day is going to flow. And so many people roll out of bed. They have no idea what their day is going to look like. They feel purposeless. They, go immediately to their phone. And if you're immediately picking up your phone, which is, I mean, there's no judgment. It's just the very normal, typical thing to do. basically what you're training your brain is to be in reactionary mode, right? And you just like go here and you just, go through, and basically you're just this like robot. And how I like to look at it is I'm like, no, like I'm making my day my bitch. Okay. And so it is going to start when I want to start it. And, that's when we go, and I don't not touch my phone for the first hour of the day. I keep it on airplane mode. We have the luxury of doing that. I don't touch it. We go straight into our reading area, and I get that done, and I get my mind straight. Not only does that tell, myself, but it lets me be the dictator of my day. If you're constantly in reactionary mode and trying to catch up and in this, like, we want to be proactive. Like if we want to change our identity, we have to be responsible for that. And there's no one that's going to come do this for you. So it's like your time to say, okay, no, I'm not going to start looking at my phone and you're going to start to notice these changes and feel better and be like, oh, I don't really need that as much. I'm not really on my phone as much. I'm noticing that, I feel calmer. Waking up to all of the trash that we have going on our phones, most of it is not really,
Brain rot.
Yeah. Zach calls it brain rot. Some of us have more brain rot than others. I think dogs on Instagram is actually a really beautiful thing. And I could look at puppies all day long, but there is sometimes where it gets to be too much. So anyways, I just wanted to chime on that. Like and here's what's crazy is, there's a book that we both love called Atomic Habits. And it says fantastic. It says 47% of our day is made up of our habits, which essentially means that half of our day is on autopilot. A habit is basically something you do without thinking, right? And so your day is built on something that you're not thinking about. Like if we really want to change, we have to go back and reverse engineer and change those habits. And how dope is it going to be when they're actually really good things? Like Zach and I are at the place right now where that half of our day, like, yeah, it sucks, but it is like, it's habitual. Like, yeah, we drink 1.5 gallons of water a day, 10,000 steps. We go to the gym, we wake up, we read. Like, I mean, I've done a really good job getting the other crappy, 50% out and just exchanging it for something really amazing. And that's our goal, is that we want to help you transform and, show you that you can do it. If it can happen to us, it can totally happen to you.
One little thing too, I guess, is like a little mind trick that I used to think of is usually when you're running towards something at the weekend, right? It's like whether you want to go drink, you want to go out, whether it's porn that you're getting distracted with, whatever the vice is, typically it comes from like tiny broken promises that were happening earlier in the week. And so now it's like the tiny bits are adding up. And then what do you want to do? You're starting to feel guilt, shame, regret. Dang, I should have done that. Damn, I should have done this. And then what is the easiest thing to do? Go cope by distracting yourself and running to, basically living out of your own brain and sobriety and like being you. So that's just something to think about, is like, typically whenever you're having those problems with the vices, it's like look at the promises that you're breaking earlier on in the week. So that's usually what leads up to it. Cool. Next slide. Sweet. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as Zach said, we're going to gamify this. We do one-on-one coaching. If you love what you experience in these next 30 days and, want to continue, or if you just crush it and you want one-on-one sessions with us, there's tons of ways we can do personalized nutrition, a structured plan, but we want to incentivize you guys. I mean, this is sometimes, I'm very competitive. So I do very well I do very well in an environment that, has prizes. There will be points associated with each of your daily activities with you checking in. And we're going to post those in a leaderboard. When you sign up, you actually get your own dashboard. You can log in and, you'll be in charge of that. But Zach and I will have the master for all of that. And so we'll post information of, the leaderboard and how people are doing. And, our goal obviously is to have everybody have serious transformations. I truly believe that, there's going to be some people who join us who this will be their last day drinking forever, or this will be their last day looking at porn forever, or this will be their last day, whatever the vice is. And they take the next 30 days and really rebuild the person that they want to be. They love it so much that they're like, I don't even want to go back to that old thing. I believe that there is going to be transformations, and Zach and I both are just, that's why we're here. So, we want to reward that. We want to reward first place $500 one-on-one strategy call, second place $250, another strategy call or personalized training, and then third place is a strategy call where we can talk about what the next year looks like, or the rest of February through December for you.
Cool. Then we break down, these are all the points here as far as completing daily non-negotiable, morning weight. We're going to have you upload like logs for nutrition. We're going to do transformation pictures of journaling, week streaks that add bonus points. And then we'll show you like what the grid looks like for the point structure for the non-negotiables. And then the breakdown for first, second, third. Cool. So a really big thing is like we were saying in the beginning, it's really, really important right now to just make a promise to yourself. Like, hey, I'm going to hold on for the next 30 days, no matter what. And the thing is, like, I'm speaking from experience here. There was always something that I had to go to, whether it was a birthday party, whether it was like a random travel trip, whether it was this, whether it was that. Something always pops up. And you're like, oh, it's okay. I'll start right after that because that's what you think is going to happen. But there's always something that's going to try and distract you. I promise you, this 30 days will not be different from the next, from the next, from the next, from March, April, June, July, all the way to December. Everything is going to be the exact same if you don't take these next 30 days to really, really dial it in. And no matter what is going on, you still hit these daily non-negotiables. So I want you to make a promise, like not to us, not to the group, like to you. I want you to sit there and say, like, hey, I'm not going to negotiate with myself these next 30 days. I'm going to show up when it's uncomfortable. I'm going to keep the standards that we are setting right now, and I'm going to finish what I started. The biggest thing is completing what you said you were going to do. And the thing is, like, it's not about perfection. Like, it's not about like sitting here and everything has to be perfect. I have to eat the perfect amount of like chicken and rice, and I have to do 10,000 spot. I'm going to do more. I have to do 15,000. Or it's like 20 minutes of reading. Like everything doesn't have to be exactly perfect. We just want to see you checking off the boxes. Obviously, we're incentivizing you. The more you do, the more points you get. But like, it's not about perfection. It's just honoring your word that like, hey, I woke up and I said I did exactly what I said I was going to do. That is the most important part. It has nothing to do, like, honestly, if you're only in it to like get $500, it's just not going to last. Like you need to be in this for the right reason. And it's like, I want to change. It's not about materialistic things or even like getting to like coach with us. It's about you. Like at the end of the day, it's about you. And it's like none of this will work if you do not want to do it. And if you're like, hey, I just want to be better for me. Because I'm telling you, the biggest thing that like where you gain confidence from is just when you're keeping the promises to yourself, no matter what it is, cutting out procrastination and just really showing up for yourself. So for the next 30 days, we just want you to act like the man or the woman that you want to be 1 year from now. And that's how identity is built. The biggest question that I ask myself when I wake up in the morning or when I'm faced with a decision of what I want to do or versus what I should do is what would the person that I want to be like, or where was my future self? Like, what would they do in this like situation? That's the easiest way to think about it. It cuts out all of because you know the answer. Everyone knows the answer. You have the information, you know exactly. It's like even the people that you guys look up to as role models. What would they do in that situation? You know the answer pretty quick. It's right away. And then if you still decide to not do it, like that's on you. You're just not showing up for yourself. You're breaking the promises. You're slowly withering away your confidence. It's just how it is. Cool. Sweet. So we're gonna jump in a little bit just for anybody that doesn't know us, just briefly, like before we outline the game plan for you guys, just to really have the best year of your life. We seriously believe this is going to be one of the greatest years of our lives. We just want to tell you how we got here in case you're not familiar. So a lot of what we speak about definitely did not come from like theory or like reading a lot of books. It came from experience. So it's like, Catherine was saying earlier, we made a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes in our life. But the thing is, the quicker I fail, the quicker I learn. That's how I see it. That's where I've cut out so much of like my nervousness to start or do things. Like years ago, I would have never thought I could jump on a webinar and like talk to people ever. But the quicker I fail, the more confidence I gain, the more I learn. That's the way I see it. Like I would rather fail 100 times really fast and just learn than be like, what if you're sitting in the limbo? So for those of you who don't know me, I spent over a decade trapped in addiction. This was everything from alcohol to cocaine to pills. I was a bartender. I was just deep in it, like rarely sleeping ever. And just like never ended. It was a whole 10 years of, at first I had the excuse of, all right, I'm going to college. It's okay. Right. When I left school, I started becoming a bartender. I was a bartender for like 5 years. And I was like, well, that's how everybody drinks. I even was the craziest part about alcohol is that it really is a poison that plays tricks on your mind,
Mhm.
because I would come up with the craziest reasons of like why this was okay. One of the biggest ones was, well, if I'm not drinking at the bar, like where I'm working, then I'm less sociable, like I'm making more money. So really I'm investing in myself by drinking, and now I'm getting a better return. Also on my days off, if I go to other bars and I hang out with those bartenders, they're going to come in on their day off and then they're going to tip me more. And it was the craziest thing. I was like, oh, I'm basically like marketing. Like I'm basically marketing my job. And it's just like not how it was, like at all. Um, and so after that, I'd actually checked into rehab in 2021, pretty much not voluntary. It was because I had actually totaled my car, lost my job, and got evicted all in the same week. And I basically had nowhere to go. So people were just breathing about down my neck. They were like, "You need to go to rehab." And the craziest part about it is like I went, but it didn't work, because the thing is, I didn't want it to work. Like that's the biggest thing. It comes down to like same thing with this challenge. Like you just have to want it for yourself. I was still in deep. Like I still was like, all right, I'm gonna go here for 30 days, and like it is what it is. I'll physically abstain, but like the whole time I was just thinking about what I can't wait to do this when I get out. Um, and so I got out and just tried to do all the things. I tried to, I blamed it on my environment of my friends, or I blamed it on this, I blamed it on that, I blamed it on my job. So now I got into sales, but then I was like, oh, everybody in sales is drinking. It's okay again, because now I have a sales job, right? I'm not a bartender anymore. I have a sales job. I have a real job. So now it's okay to go out and like drink with everybody because I have a big boy job. Like, and it just, no, it never ended, because it's just no matter what, I played a trick on my brain. I always found a way to make an excuse. And I just blamed everybody else. It's like, oh, this person's stressing me out. It's their fault. It's this fault. Nothing worked. I wasn't keeping any promises to myself. I would have these spurts of like, you know, sometimes 2 months, sometimes 3 months, but they would always break, because it's just, I was blaming everybody else instead of doing like the real work on myself. Um, and the promises, they just didn't last. So I was always into fitness, like even over this 10 years. Obviously, I only got so far because it's like alcohol just slashes your protein synthesis in half. And it's like, it's just not, like I said, it's poison. Like you just really, really cannot get to the, stage that you want to while you're drinking. But funny enough, like where you see me now, it's like I have not been sober very long. Like on March 17th of this previous year. So like, what is that? Like 10 months ago, is when I decided to get sober. And it's like I tried like AA meetings, I tried rehab, I tried all these different things, and they weren't working. But guess what? What finally clicked is when I just was like, dude, I'm sick of myself. I had moved out to a place called McKinney, which is in like North Dallas area in Texas. And I isolated myself, and I was just like, dude, enough is enough. I just got away from everything, and I was like, I can't do this. I had like got my car repoed at this point again, and I needed to find a new job. I was sleeping on somebody's couch because I was so dead broke that like I couldn't even afford to go to like a $20 a month like Planet Fitness. So I was scrapping pennies to get that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take accountability for everything. This was the biggest mindset rewire for me, was that instead of blaming everybody else, I got nothing to lose. What if I just try this out? What if I just blame myself for everything?
Mhm.
Like, no matter what it is, like I'm talking about, if I go to go get a haircut and I show up 5 minutes late and the barber has to apologize because the guy after me has to wait, I just randomly would blurt out, hey, that's my fault. I showed up late. Like just little things like that worked for me personally, because I was just like overwhelmingly like just like accountability, accountability, accountability. Where can I like say, like, where can I adjust? Like, where was this my fault? Even if it's something where you're like, dang, like 90% of me really, really feels like, it's this person's fault, but it's like, what could I have done differently to either prevent that situation? Because everything is about how we react to it. Like, it's not about what happens to me, it's how do I react to it. Like, you can find an optimistic or positive reaction out of anything. Um, but what's really cool is this year, this is why I'm really, really big on momentum, is because things happen fast, like way faster than you realize. Mine started with going to the gym. All of a sudden, I started making more money at this new sales job that I had, because I had to go find a new one because I pissed the last one off by drinking so much and not showing up. And then I was like craving more. I was like, wow, like this is steamrolling really, really fast. We're talking 30, 60, 90 days. And I was like, well, what do I need to do? So I was like, I need to be more public about my sobriety. Like, this is awesome. Like, people need to feel this. And so I started posting about it. People that I never expected were reaching out to me like, dude, I need your help. Or like, this is amazing. We're inspired by this. Like, we've known you over the last 10 years, whatever it may be. But I started figuring out that the more money I was making by all of this stuff just dumping into my sales role. You know, we were getting up to like six figures and then like multiple six figures. And I was like, dude, this money just isn't cutting it. I found the most enjoyment in responding to people on Instagram, like trying to help them out with their sobriety. So I was like, what do I do? Um, and the thing is, I knew in isolation when I was out in McKinney, that wasn't the way to do it. Like I knew I was craving community at this point, especially when you're getting sober, because your biggest problem is like, damn, like all my friends are gonna leave me. Everybody drinks, everybody does this. Where do I go? Who do I hang out with? I don't want to just be that loser that's like by himself. And so I was like, I'm just gonna create it. Like, screw it, I'm gonna create it. And so I decided I was like, I'm gonna build this men's movement of we use fitness as a foundation because it's like we have to get our body and our mind right, but also I want to provide the community that other people just don't have or don't know where to find. And so I was like, I want to put that together. It's where when we run in our coaching, like you have the community, you have the fitness, but also the biggest thing that I found out about myself that I was trying to find in this path was my purpose. Like I was really trying to figure out like where do I fit in. Um, and the craziest part is that I started going on podcasts and I started talking openly about my sobriety. And I was like, wow. And I met this one guy that months and months later, this was in September, he was like, hey, you should come on a podcast with somebody else that I had on there. This girl right here. And so, but he was like, hey, beforehand, we're having this donor lunch. It's a nonprofit that he does. And he was like, yo, you guys should come. It's going to be in Augusta. On the way there, one of the craziest things, I was the furthest thing from, like, I grew up Christian, but I was like the furthest thing from it. It was more of like a check the box kind of thing for my family. And I had this crazy experience. I hadn't prayed ever, I don't think, in my life. The buddy I was riding up there with, we were just praying about a business decision that we needed to make for what's called the Stronzi Point, the men's movement that I'm talking about. And we were like, hey, he just didn't know. He was like, hey, I think I'm just going to pray about it and like see like is this the right decision or not. So we're praying about it. He looks at me and he says, I think God's telling me that you need to pray. And I was like, I've never done that. Like there's no way. Like no way. And I don't know what it was. I just was like, it overwhelmed me. I somehow found the words to pray for like a whole 60 seconds. And the thing that it ended with was, you know what, I was one of those desperate ones where I was like, you know what, God, if you're real, show me a sign. Now we were on a 7-hour drive all the way out from Tampa, Florida to Augusta. And then I don't know if anyone's been on that drive. There's nothing out there, especially like when you're getting through Georgia. And also we drove through the middle of the night. Like you can't even see anything, but it's basically just farmland. There's nothing out there. Within 30 seconds, I saw a billboard that popped up that literally said, are you ready to meet Jesus? I shit you not. This is a real story. And I started freaking out. 30 seconds after that, a cross popped up, like lit, like completely lit up. And I was mind blown. And I was like, wow. And then nothing else for 2 hours. And it's just like, was the crazy experience. I was like, obviously, like I have to believe now, like this is like, he showed me the sign. Like, and this was in September that I gave my life to Christ. I got baptized in October. Me and Catherine obviously hit it off well now that we're married. So, and yeah, and it's just like, I think, the business decision had nothing to do with it. I met Catherine, it's 12 hours after that. And we've just been inseparable ever since. And it's like, now we're married. And I think that truly I was on that drive and I was supposed to meet Christ because I was supposed to be a God-centered man. And I was stepping into the man I was supposed to become for her. And for us to lead a family and to lead people and to do just something incredible in this world. But yeah, ultimately what saved me wasn't the motivation. It was the standards, the accountability that I was building throughout the year. And just the alignment. I was getting all of this stuff was preparation to step into where we are like right now. And that's just why I like to share this story is because this isn't something you just learn from like books or I didn't like watch podcasts. It was just like, I lived it for 10 years and just all throughout these last 10 months, like I've been living it. And it's like, you've seen it, or maybe if you were on here and you know me, like where I was to where I am now, like it's just a complete like polar opposite. And so I like to just be a light of, some people like to say, well, oh, you haven't been sober that long, or you haven't done this that long, but it's like, but look how much I've conquered in those 10 months. It's a crazy difference. And so I like to be the light to show you what can happen very, very, very quickly.
Totally.
Cool.
You want to check the chat really fast?
Yeah, we can check it on the chat.
All right. I know. Wow. Yes.
I still haven't changed. 63 years long enough. My mom passed away. 12-9 is showing me. This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
This is what we're here for. It's 38th. I'm spending every other weekend this past year. Let's see. She was in San Clemente.
Oh, how funny.
Pastor from my church said a 30-day no contact would probably be best. Wow.
Yes,
See,
yes.
this stuff doesn't happen on accident.
Yeah,
That's what's
we
crazy.
truly believe like you're here for a purpose, on purpose. I do not believe in accidents. I don't care, where you are in your faith or like your walk with God. I am very faith focused, and I believe everyone is here. I don't believe that we came across your feeds on accident. I believe that this is all, that we're here for a purpose. Purpose.
Cool. All right, let's jump to
Yeah.
sweet. Let's take it.
All right. So I have super similar story as Zach. I don't really even like to talk about the drinking and using piece because it seems like so long ago, but I do have to, just I do honor the fact that I just got 10 years sober. I struggled with addiction for a really long time.
Can I chime in on that real
Of
quick?
course.
I just want to say, even though she's 10 years sober, like that's a big thing, is that like if you were to ask me to go pick up a drink right now, even after 10 months, it's like unimaginable. Like it when you the like perception of, oh, that feels like forever ago, that happened to me within like 6 months, where I was like, wow, like who is that person? Like
Yeah.
I don't even recognize that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I just identified as the party girl. Like I was like the fun girl. I mean, I still like to have fun. That's actually why I started posting on Instagram 2 years ago, because I was sober and I was like doing all these fun things. I have like friends that we would like go skydiving and drive to Mexico and jump on the back of horses and like do all this fun stuff. I thought life was going to be over when I got sober. It honestly just had started. But when I was 31, I couldn't stop breaking promises to myself. I was suicidal. My family stepped in and said, "Hey, like you need to make a change." Thank goodness they did, because I was, really not at a place where I was going to do it myself. I just wasn't. So when people say, "Hey, you have to get sober for yourself," my brother said, "I do not want you around your nieces and nephews until you get 30 days sober." And I went and did that for him, and that was 10 plus years ago. So I don't care what motivates you. I don't care if it's a 30-day challenge. Nobody actually knows, but what keeps you here, and the life that I got because of that is what keeps me here. But I always talk about the sober piece and how much that changed my life, but just recently started talking about that my life really changed about, I don't know, about a year to 2 years ago, when I really locked in on my habits. Like I've always loved going to the gym. I've always been fit, but I wasn't disciplined with my nutrition. I wasn't disciplined with, my workouts. I would wake up and I wouldn't really count my reps. I had no idea where I was going. I was not counting my steps. And so, life really changed for me and transformed when I started to get just dialed in on my habits. I would say like another, sorry, I'm skipping around, another milestone. I was 18 months sober and I was working for corporate America, and I was so miserable, and I was waking up every day. I was sober. And I was, very active in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. AA saved and changed my life. And that was what I used to personally get sober. But I was going to this job and I just felt so purposeless, and I felt like God was directing me somewhere else. And it took a huge leap of faith for me. But I said, I know that God wants something more for me. And maybe you're on this call today because you feel this tug at your heart. I just knew that I wasn't living in my purpose. And so I took the next 6 months off and I just like self-explored and talked to people and did all this self-development. And I took this random job because I too, like Zach, found a passion for wanting to help people and teach them about sobriety. I was like, man, this is like the secret sauce, right? Like it did, my life, my relationships, my self-confidence did start to really improve when I got sober, and I wanted everybody to know about it. And I was one of those alcoholics that still had a job, still had a great exterior, like people would never know that I was struggling. I really had a prescription pill problem. Nobody thought anything of it because it was Adderall and Xanax and doctors prescribed it. Like I wasn't shooting heroin. I wasn't, homeless. So like I thought that I didn't really have a problem, but really, when I came home at night and I just wanted to not wake up the next day, like that's when it told me that I had a problem, right? I would wake up and say, hey, today's going to be different. And I'd be reaching for the freezer. I'd be going for that vodka. I'd be numbing out. I had no relationships of substance. I didn't feel like I was, really getting to where I needed to go. And so, when I was sober, I still was waking up and feeling like, what am I doing? Like it's almost feels like the same thing. And this happens. It's very common. People think that sobriety is the finish line, but really it's just the starting line.
Mhm.
And so I don't think that this is talked about enough. And if you're on this, and you're still struggling with sobriety, like I hope that doesn't discourage you. Please know, like sobriety is amazing and it's going to absolutely change the trajectory of your future. However, it does require a bunch of actions and other work behind it to really push it and supercharge it into like something meaningful. And so I started my own company about 6 months after I quit that corporate job. I started my own treatment center. And I loved working with addicts and alcoholics. I absolutely loved the idea of being able to share this and help people, but also make money doing it. And so I went and worked in a treatment center for $17 an hour as like a hourly, person. And basically they let me, I said, I'm probably going to go start my own facility. I'm just here to like learn. And they laughed at me and they didn't think I would actually do it. And, I've met some of my dearest friends, while I was working there. I learned so much. But then I had the courage to go start my own treatment facility. And for the past 8 years, have been doing treatment facilities in Southern California. Just had my first mental health facility open. I have business partners that are monumentally helpful and really have really, changed and shaped my entire life. Like if I were still the girl working in corporate America, waking up every day saying, I know that God has something bigger for me. I know that. And that's why Zach and I are actually on this call today, is because I know that God has something bigger for me than treatment centers, right? It's a very comfortable life. Let me tell you, like it has treated me so well, and it's not only fulfilling and profitable, but it's also something that you can do passion and profit, and it's been very amazing to me. But I know that God has something more for me, and so being able to step into something like this, and I mean Zach is pushed me and encouraged me and has been such an incredible support, because I mean shame on me if I'm not living what I preach, which is you cannot stay comfortable. Like you're either growing or dying. If you're in that comfort zone, that's a dangerous place. For me, comfortability is dying. And so, that's what's brought us here is I'm a little over 10 years sober. Zach and I got married on Monday of this week. And, I've written 2 books. Well, I co-authored a book and my book is being launched next week. It's called The Comeback Blueprint, Winning at Life After Addiction. But none of that is, I mean, yes, it's cool. Like that's cool. Right. But more than anything is I wake up every day knowing like I'm stepping into my purpose, knowing that I'm not like settling for an old life, settling for a paycheck, that Zach and I are actually building something, that we have momentum, that we have purpose, that we are actually moving towards something. And that's not just professional goals. That's our fitness goals. That's our faith goals. That's our financial goals. And we have a coach also. I mean, like we have a few coaches, and it's not because we don't know, we don't have the information. It's because we need accountability. And some of the stuff that we're sharing, may be absolutely like, holy cow, I've never heard that before. Or some of it is just like, yeah, this is like basic stuff, but it's more about the implementation of that and who is going to be there for you when it gets boring and when it gets hard and when it's like, I don't want to do this. And it's like, yeah, but you still need to, right? So yeah, today, I'm taking on select women to work with one-on-one, who are sober and who feel stuck, just like I did when I was 18 months sober, and who just need somebody that, who's in their corner, that can just, give them the one-on-one attention about, faith, fitness, all of these other areas, and Zach and I are building this. And, like, I would say the biggest thing is that we just feel super called. Like we feel aligned. There is no day, that we wake up, we're like, I don't know if I'm sure about this. Like,
Yeah.
we pray diligently. We have people that pray over us. I mean, when you feel aligned with what God has for you, there is no stopping you. There is no question mark. There is no, I don't know if I should do this. It's like, no, this is just what we do. It's not if, it's, how am I going to make this work? And there's something to be said for, being called and having purpose. And that's really what we're hoping to get. When we can cut out all the crap, all the excuses, the vices, you're going to finally be able to step into the person that you're called to be. And many of you are just sitting on autopilot, just bored, maybe unfulfilled, maybe feeling like you have a vice or a problem, but you don't really know how to get through it. Like, let's lock in these next 30 days. What is 30 days out of your life, right?
Mhm.
Lock in these next 30 days. Let's try to build some solid habits. Maybe you'll meet some new friends. And the, I don't know, best thing that could happen is you meet you at the end of this and you start stepping into the person that God's called you to be.
Sweet. Good stuff. Cool. Yeah, so kind of a little bit like Catherine was going over. So this 30-day identity reset is basically a really, really small, like 5% excerpt from our identity rebuild system. It's like the framework that we use to help our clients rebuild discipline, clarity, leadership in their lives. That's a big thing, especially on the leadership part, is like, especially with my guys, like I don't just want them to cold plunge, go to the gym, eat right. And then it's like, all right, cool. They're doing these things every day. And then they feel good for just them, or they feel good, or like, I feel good about myself. Like, yes, that's great. But I also, a big, big piece for me, something that I like live and stand by, is I feel that we are commanded to go and sow this into other people. Like, it is your job to go take all of these things that you learn and go be a leader elsewhere, even if that's like a small community at your work. It doesn't matter what it is. That's a very, very like strong point for me. And my guys is like, I'm always pushing them to like, where can they go start an accountability group at work? Where can they go talk about this? Where can they go share, whether it's faith, fitness, discipline, like whatever it is that they're doing that's working, I want you to go help out and do that elsewhere. And like so basically building off that, is this is a small excerpt, and like what you're stepping into isn't random whatsoever. It's intentional, and it works because it's what we've built. It's built around identity first, not like motivation, right? It's not about waking up and being excited to do it. It's built around your identity. This is who I am. When you wake up, this is what I do. This is what Zach Strong does. This is what Catherine Strong does. And these are the things that make you you. So like, you start sacrificing these things one piece at a time, then you don't realize that like your filler gaps, like when you're going to hang out at like a family event, or you're going to do, I don't know, go hang out with your friends, whatever it is, you're not showing up as the same person because you're not doing the things and keeping the promises to yourself, and you're showing up as a different Zach or Catherine or whoever it is, right? So here's how it works. So pillar one is going to be clarity and direction. Pillar two, planning for success. And pillar three, accountability and tracking. And we will jump into these. So this is what it's going to look like for pillar one, clarity and direction. It's super important that we write out your goals, like we mentioned earlier. This is not just a fitness goal. This is your fitness and health goals. This is your professional goals. What does your schooling look like if you're in school, career, business? What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve in 2026? What are your life goals? Do you want to go like hike a certain mountain? What are things that you want to go experience? Like, what do you want to achieve in this life? Because the thing is, it happens faster than you think. Like, one thing that I didn't even hit on in my story is like the cool things that I've gotten to do. I'm way more passionate about this and helping you guys out, but it's like I've gotten to be in USA Today articles. I've gotten stuff aired on CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, all these things, because of like how fast it's just been happening. And like, sharing this message has been helping so many people. And it's like, those things are cool and all, but that's why we're so passionate about like sharing and helping and doing these things, is because we seriously see the transformation and the work that's being done. And it's not just like on your physical body, it's on your mindset, it's on your jobs, your relationships, your marriages, like everything. It's making them into just a way better community for everybody. Pillar two, planning for success breakdown. So we'll have an instructional video in there, WhatsApp challenge, the group chat for you guys, for y'all to interact. You can post your wins. We're gonna have you like post like your journaling for certain points, your MyFitnessPal, or like uploading your nutrition for that day, progress photos, all kind of stuff in there. We'll have like guidelines for you to follow for a workout program or nutrition if you guys are struggling with that, and like, hey, awesome, I would love to join this challenge, but like, I don't know, I can't go like make my own nutrition plan, or my own workout plan, like I don't know what to follow. And then this is what the tracker looks like, right? So you're gonna have these little icons you can hover over. You can see which one they are, whether it's 7 hours of sleep, training, I did my steps, I ate my meals, I didn't do any vices today. And we're gonna go down. So we're gonna start January 5th, which is tomorrow. Since I know this is a little later in the day, but you're gonna go each day. We'll be able to go on this dashboard. It's called a Notion dashboard. And you'll be able to check them off. I'm pointing at the screen. You didn't see me pointing at the screen.
It's okay.
Put in like you can make daily notes for yourself, morning weight, fitness bell upgrade, progress photos, or journaling photos. You can upload all this in here, so it's all tracked and it's all gamified, like we said. So it's like we can come in here and see like where the points are being broken down, and we'll submit leaderboards like every day, so you guys are getting insight into like who's winning, who's in second. All right, how much do I need to kick it into gear to catch up, right? And then at the very end, we're going to do another one of these exactly like this, same way you got in here, the same way, everything the exact same. And we're just going to show up live again with you guys, hang out with you guys, talk about your wins, do the placements for the challenges, and give away the prizes that we promised. You have to be on this call February 4th in order to get the prizes. Which we'll keep in touch in the group chat. You'll be aware of everything. We'll make sure everybody's updated. Everybody knows how to get there. Cool. Good.
Yeah. So if you guys, it looks like we still have everyone, so that's awesome. If you felt, I mean, how was it today? Did you feel like this was worth your while? Was this a good use of your time? Are you guys pumped to take action next 30 days? What's the chat saying? I'm so glad. Okay. Yes. It's okay to be scared. That's a good thing. It's time.
Yeah, and we're gonna drop here. We just kind of wanted to get some interaction with you guys before we move on to the next part where we have like 4 slides left. Where we're gonna drop like the link for how you can register to get into the challenge and everything.
Yeah.
What's up, Keanu? I'm so glad you're on here, man.
Hi, Keanu. Yeah, we're so excited. This is like we're pumped. Like stuff like this, Zach and I have goals too. So you guys are gonna help us. And we've had a ton of travel, and sometimes your steps are hard to get in when you're traveling. But if you have 35 or 40 other people that are counting on you, I mean, it's just a lot easier to show up for other people sometimes than yourself. And that's why these challenges are so effective, because you are far more likely to break promises to yourself than to other people. It's so crazy when yourself is the most important person. Like, you should not be breaking promises to yourself, but we're trained to do it otherwise. So we're super excited. Do you guys now see how simple it is to set yourself up for success?
It's just about doing it. It's just about accountability. It's just about
execution,
getting the job done. Yeah. Cool. So who's pumped to take action over the next 30 days?
See it.
Cool. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys to fill out the onboarding form. There we go. Cool. Let me get that chat up. Oh, there it is. Cool. Let me drop this in here for you guys. So you fill that out. That way we'll be able to know who wants into the challenge. Make sure you do your email correctly and everything, so we can get you emailed over your personal dashboard and everything that you will need for the challenge.
And the Stripe link. Did we say it was $97?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Instructions and plans are already going to be uploaded in the Notion once you gain access to and get it to work, which also we'll record a little video too and send it out to you guys of like kind of how to maneuver through everything. And then I believe that's all for here. Cool. Do you want to take this one?
Oh, you can take it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then we're also doing throughout the challenge. So an opportunity for 5 participants. So we are offering 5 people throughout the challenge. Whether you're 5 days in, 15 days in, you're almost towards the end, and you're like, dude, this is great. I'm already feeling it. I want to see, because like we said, it's like 5% of what we're teaching all the time. And so it's like, hey, I want to take this to the next level. For the first 5 people that want to work with us, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, and just really fast track their 2026, we're going to be doing a massive $1,000 off on our coaching program. So There's going to be a link inside of the Notion as well, which is like the dashboard that we're going to be sending you guys for you to fill out. And that way we can hop on a one-on-one call with us and a strategy call and capitalize on it. So I think that would be a huge opportunity for everybody. It's a big discount. And yeah, it's just really great. It's just like the reason that we are so passionate about doing this is because like I know that speaking for you too, like this is what got us to where we were.
Yeah.
Is like this year alone, I've probably like even me personally, I've probably talked to like 5 different coaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's just fitness a coach, whether it's, you know, we have like a faith mentorship coach, just whatever it is, it's like getting like the way I see it is like mentorship is somebody that's where you want to be. And how do I fast track that? It's like, yeah, I want to make my own mistakes. So I learn, but like a wise man learns off somebody else's mistakes. Like if somebody's already lived through that and they're like, hey, you need to do this, this, and this is how I got to where I was, like, that's the smartest way to do it. Cool.
Yeah. So, I'm a huge believer in investing in yourself. Like if you are not investing in you, then why would anyone else? And investing in yourself looks like gym membership. That looks like taking time, taking care of your body. But I personally spend over 6 figures a year on my personal coaches. And I've seen that investment come back to me tenfold, and I see it as an investment. So, if you choose to move forward with coaching with us, and if you're interested in doing, something beyond the 30-day challenge, we would do one-on-one. Zach takes the men, I take the women. We're also totally open to working with couples.
Yeah.
Yes, we have not been married that long, but we're both very passionate. And we've learned a lot
When you
of
go through enough mistakes, you know what you
yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah. And
know.
yeah. And just the things, and we're best friends, we're business partners, we do everything together. It's if you can have hobbies together and if you guys can do this together, I promise you, I can't imagine having a life with a partner who didn't like feel this way. So like bring them on board, like have this be something fun, like get in the best shape of your life. And then I don't know, maybe do a 2-day weekend in Mexico or Cabo or something cool at the end to reward yourselves. Like this could be a really cool thing that you guys hold each other accountable. But
I just
back
want to chime in real quick.
yeah.
I just want to shout out like some action takers from Typeforms we already got. Julie, Arissa, Jennifer, Alyssa, Fiona, Ian,
Let's
Kelly,
go.
Ashley, Natalie. Bunch of y'all jumping in
yeah,
here.
already.
Yeah, so
That's amazing.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that takes precedence. We're like, that's what we want. Like those of you that are taking action right now are the ones that are, I mean, come on, that's yes, yes. So back to if you want to do one-on-one coaching, and if this is something you're interested in, we can definitely spend some more time talking about this. But direct calls, one-on-one, private chats. We also have classroom modules, things that, again, these are just information that Zach and I feel are super important that have got us to where we are today. And that we want to, pass on to you. And then group coaching calls, accountability, community are so important to us. We're super excited about having people, join the Strawn family. And it still feels weird to say Strawn, also amazing. But we're so excited. Like we believe that, we attract people who really are hoping to have like a life like ours, and builds with faith and family. And I mean, we have a lot of fun too, or we literally are gonna go night skiing tonight. And we're here in Park City with a bunch of Zach's friends from back home. And like, I mean, our life is very balanced, but we have the life that we have today and the freedom that we have today because we have these habits that we don't miss. And we have a firm foundation. And so we'd love to just pass it on to you guys. Man, we are seeing so many other action takers. Let's go.
Yeah. Sarah, Julie, Michael, Scott. I didn't mean to say in that order. Office fans.
Good job, guys.
Danielle,
That is
Kelly.
Awesome. This is gonna, and after we get a group, the final group for those of us joining the challenge, we're gonna create a separate WhatsApp, and that will be, the main way that we'll communicate as a team, and just check in with each other. Post, be active. I know it can be like another like group, but just give it 30 days. Like just really focus on this being like the other part of your self-development is chiming in on the group, contributing, posting things like, you start to feel a part of something like a WhatsApp group when you really start to like post, add things, and then you start to create friendships. And it actually, when you start to invest, it makes, things just flow so much easier. And it's like, oh yeah, this is just what I do today as I check in with WhatsApp and I see how my other peeps are doing and I encourage and we do this together. I promise if you could do this alone, you would have done it a long time ago.
Cool. Good stuff. Awesome. Well, we want to be respectful of everybody's time. I know we went a little bit over, but we're going to do a live Q&A. We'll stay on for another maybe like what, 10, 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
However long you guys need. If you guys want to ask us anything at all, we'll answer live right on here before we wrap up. Thanks, Linda.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, if you want this. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes
Someone say Zoom user, so I don't know.
yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Closet drinkers, that's a thing. And it's tough. And if I can give you any advice, it's that our secrets keep us really sick. And so if you can find one person to be honest with, I mean, who better to be honest with than your partner, right? That's just my personal, Zach and we have no secrets. I mean,
Thanks, Jennifer.
It's important to us. So, I mean, if I can offer you any advice, it's just to get honest and maybe let this be your launching off point.
You guys sending us a WhatsApp meeting invite. Also would love to meet up since you're both in the area and enjoy your time in Park City. Yeah, Michael, we're going to send out, so everybody that's filling out the type form, we have y'all's info on there, so we'll be able to make the private group chat on WhatsApp, and we'll send that out to you. So if you don't have WhatsApp, now's a good time to say, if you don't have WhatsApp, download it now. And I believe you just link your like phone number to it, and then you'll just get the notification whenever we send it out.
Yeah, us too, Sarah. Thank you, thank
Sarah.
you, thank you.
We got Mike. Is this the only time this year you'll be doing a 30-day challenge? We'll see how this one goes. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know, but who knows? It just depends on this one goes. I mean, the thing is how we say how you start your morning is how you finish, the rest of your day. It's like, I think how you start your year is how you finish the rest of your year.
Big time.
You're always going to, have those thoughts of like, oh, it's July. It's, I'm going to wait till next year. It's like, there's no better time than right now.
Agreed.
Excited to work more closely with you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arissa. Grateful to find C2C.
Yeah, us too.
We're grateful for you guys too.
For sure.
Awesome. Anybody else have any questions? Of course, Claire. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know we're the snow's starting to fall, Ian, so it should be good stuff. I want to know how this is going to work.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so as far as,
Arissa,
okay.
It's tomorrow. We're starting tomorrow since we know it's like an evening time right now. So starting tomorrow. Sorry, go back.
That's okay. You guys are determined the success of this. I mean, we're really just telling you that, if like you need support, we're here for you. But really accountability, we're laying everything out for you. The next 30 days, we're going to make this dummy proof for you. And we're going to do it so that it's so easy that all you have to do is literally sign in, create your daily tasks, complete your daily tasks. And just stay on the path. Did you drop the link again?
Yeah,
okay.
Keanu was asking.
Okay, perfect.
You were talking.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's all right. Cool. Yeah.
There you go, Keanu.
So we'll be sure to put you guys in a WhatsApp group, and we're excited. We're going to get started tomorrow, and we want it to feel like a community. We are all trying to change, every single one of us. I don't care Me and Zach may have started this, but we want to have change over the next 30 days, just like you guys do. And we have goals. And so we're excited. We're excited to do the challenge and just start to get dialed. I mean, let's get focused, guys. We have a life that we need to start living, and your goals are only gonna, get stronger the closer you drop to get close to the person that God wants you to be.
Cool. Cool,
It is
cool.
a process. That's right.
So I think I'm gonna be sober and lots of great sports tonight is helpful for the next 30 days. Awesome, Melissa.
Us too.
Amazing. Yeah, no worries. I know we're like over an hour, so if you guys have to jet, yeah. We're just on here if any, yeah, everyone's free to go. If you guys want to hang on here and ask us anything, we'll sit on here. But outside of that, we hope you guys have a great Sunday. Starting off Monday hot
Yeah,
tomorrow. We are stoked.
we're so excited, and congratulations for those of you that took that first step. Those of you that even attended tonight, I want you to just be proud of yourself, because even this act of joining, listening, staying, being open to new information is actually something that will get you closer to your goals. I promise you, and that is something that you should be really proud of. So let's put some more action behind it. Let's keep this momentum going.
Bye, Claire.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you. We're so glad that you were able to come tonight. Thank you for taking the time.
Of course. Good night, Keanu. Cool. All right, we'll do one last call for any questions. If anyone has questions, I'll give you 10 seconds,
Really?
20 seconds, 30 seconds. I saw everyone jump
What
out. What?
bear is best?
What bear is best? Like a grizzly bear, polar bear, black bear? What are you talking about?
False. Bears beats.
Battlestar Galactica.
There you
That's what
go.
I said.
There you go. There you go.
Mr. Disney.
Us too. We are too. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks, Mike. We are gonna jet. I'll look at all the type forms and we will get everything sent out to you guys tonight. And then let's everybody get ready to rock in the morning. We'll get the group chat set up and everything for you guys.
Let's do it.
Appreciate
Can't
it.
wait.
Y'all have a great night.